We interrupt your regularly scheduled program for fantasy football announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is Dragonsbreath. We're going to break it down, the playoff picture. Here we go. First, let's go bottom division. We're looking at these four teams here. Let's zoom in a little bit. Let's zoom in. Let's see. Jake M, Ethan. Looks like they're a lock for 2 or 3. 9-3 best outcome. 8-4. The worst is 7-5, 6-6. That is better than anything anybody could do right here. These two hold the tiebreakers over these two. These two are a lock for the one of them to be the winners of the division. Absolutely incredible. So, as we see, this all comes down to the final week between Jake and Ethan. Ethan has the tiebreaker right now over Jake. It's going to come down to that last matchup. If Ethan ties Jake, he wins. He's in, locked. Jake M needs to win out pretty much the whole way. He has to hold that 1-game lead over Ethan to secure his position in the top. Now, let's move over here. Over here, it gets a lot more interesting. Sam, way up top. Way up top. His worst record, 7-5. We already know he has the tiebreaker over Jimmy. Sam virtually locked. Virtually locked. But wait a minute. Let's zoom in here. This is where the playoffs really get interesting. Jimmy sitting at 5-5. He could get knocked all the way down. It's wonderful. Could be amazing. No one knows what'll happen. Jimmy basically has to win out at 7-5 to hold that game. He also has the tiebreakers over Ryan and Steve. 21-79 points. That's going to be hard to overcome. Very, very unlikely. Ryan and Steve, neither of them can finish 4-8. They play each other. So, one of these teams will finish 5-7. Jimmy, the worst he can finish, 5-7. If somehow Ryan finds a way to navigate to 6-6 and Jimmy 5-7, Ryan, boom, bumps up. Now, Steve, another interesting spot here. Sam, that's a tough matchup. Ryan's already played Sam. If Ryan can navigate through Steve and Jimmy, Ryan could go all the way up to spot 4. Interesting. Very interesting. It's all going to come down to the final weeks here. Now, let's look over here. We have another couple interesting things here. Wagers for the season. We have not really talked a whole lot about this just yet. Mahomes versus Love. Right now, Mahomes sitting at 143.86. He has about a 30-point lead over Jordan Love, 114.89. Both have had their bye weeks. It's going to come down to week 17. Strong lead, but Mahomes, he's got to keep it. He's got a tough schedule ahead. Love has been scoring points. Can't ignore that. Now, next one. James Conner, RB20 or better. That is the bet between Jake and Ethan. If James Conner, right now, RB7, he's on bye this week. Could be important. A lot of points need to be scored by other running backs. Could it be done? Absolutely. James Conner looking very good. No injury clause here either. Interesting. Now, we're going to break it down. One more bet here. We have Steve versus Jimmy. So, Steve's betting that Jake M will win the division. Jimmy is betting that any other team will win the division. The loser will have to chew 15 sticks of big red gum for 10 minutes. And the only phrase they can say during that time is, if you don't chew big red, then fuck you. And if you don't fuck with Dragon's Breath, then fuck you too.